here is family meal preparation. This is activity is will give you a lot of fun. You just basically all of family members are sitting together and you cook something. Especially, I would recommend you to do it once a week or once in 2 weeks as well. It would be like really funny, and the kids will understand like the process of cooking, how it takes. They will help them to build more empathy for the ones who is cooking at home, and it will be really interesting for them, because the main idea is not for the cooking. You shouldn't force the kids to cook something super extra. It can be just basic pizza, but you just cook it all together. And also for the reading time. Reading time should be done together with like all together. You can meet you should do some reading hours at home, and I would recommend you to do it like 3 times a week for 20 or 15 minutes. Let me ask you, there's one instrument which makes our brain to work with its whole potential. Like it's like good activity for the right and left hemisphere. It's just making our brain to work a lot. Playing on which instrument is making our brain to use right and left hemisphere at once, and it's training our brain a lot. Playing on which musical instrument is helping for our brain to do some it's forcing our brain and making it to work super actively. Playing on which instrument? So please try to guess what is that instrument that makes our brain to work that active, like helping our brain that much. Okay, Rizkul, here's some responses. So please, could you just read that once?
Yeah, it's piano, I guess. Playing piano, guitar, and piano.
Guitar and piano, right? So our participant Mohammed wrote Rubab. Like I've never heard about musical instrument, but it sounds interesting. Rizkul, maybe we should like after our training just search for that, right? So flute we have and so on. So this playing on all instruments is really helpful for our brain, but the very first instrument which is making our brain to force itself a lot is just piano. It makes to work our brain like all the hemisphere and many parts of the brain all at once. And here's one activity which is helping for our brain more than playing on a piano. So you can go buy a piano, spend some years or spend some months to learn how to play on a piano to make your brain work better, but you can just start reading books. So when you are reading a book, actually it's making a lot of parts of the brain to work all at once. It helps us to build more empathy. It's good for the like it helps us to fight against the stress, and it also helps us to develop our analytical thinking and so on. And also like for those who are reading more, they have lower tendency to get the Alzheimer's disease. So the reading is really useful, but it will be done by your kids just if you are practicing that as well. So I would really recommend you to invite the kids, read 3 times a week for 15 minutes all together. And these books should be chosen at the beginning by interest of your child. Don't force them to read that huge 3-kilogram books. It can be super thin book, but it should be interesting for your kids. At the initial time, we just like teaching them to love the process of reading book. And I would recommend you to use some conditional learning during the reading. For example, if your kids don't like the reading books, you should tell them, okay, we are going to read it only, let's say, for 10 minutes. And once they start reading a book, we are going to use some conditional learning. Let's say your kids like banana. So when they start reading a book, you bring some banana because they like the taste of it. And while they're reading the book, they will find the process of book reading as well. You should create that good atmosphere. For example, if it's kids under the age of 7, I would recommend you, for example, you can put some tables and cover it with something and make it as if it's like a tent. So today we are going to the tent to read some books and so on. You should make this process really interesting, so they just like the process of reading. Never use book reading in that way as a punishment, because I've met some parents and I was really upset with that. They're like telling your kids, if you are not going to stop using your gadget, you are going to read the book for 2 hours. They're using book reading as a punishment. That's really wrong process of treating the kids. That is why try to make the process of reading really interesting. You can make small competitions, and every of your kids should be given reward for that. Not like your brother was the best one. For example, Brian had did really well, and like last week he read 50 pages, but today it's 60. So we are really happy that you could complete that. So here's your gift, and so on. At the very beginning, you should force them to create that positive atmosphere of reading, and they should see you reading as well, because it really they will think like, I love my mom and mom loves reading. It means that reading books is really something nice. But it will all happen if we have that good communication with the kids. So like interacting with the kids, it's tiring. Here's a lot of things to do, like, right, we have to work, we have to cook, we have to do some like daily routine and so on. And for the kids, sometimes they can be annoying and so on. But believe me, the best investment is just for your kids, I could say. I remember one woman said that, I asked her, do you work? And she said, yes, I'm a businesswoman. And I said, oh, sounds interesting. So what kind of business you run? And she said, I have 5 businesses. And I said, oh, that's how you could manage doing all 5 businesses all at once. And she said, my business is my kids. And I think this is the best investment. Like, of course, we can work, working is really good, but we should remember that we have to have that extra time with the kids as well. Because like until age of 17, kids need us badly. They want our attention, they need our advices and so on. But once they get older, they don't need us. Especially if they will need our help, it won't be that useful as it was in the age of 7 or 12 or 14 and so on. They need us, right? So that is why please focus on that things, analyze yourself, play the game about how you know your spouses enough, how you know your kids enough. Let's do just conscious parenting and have that conscious family interaction. Otherwise, there's a lot of stress and a lot of things happening outside. But when we have that harmony in a family and family members feel that they're loved and they are getting enough support, they just must become successful, because in that atmosphere, as I mentioned in our very first meeting, kids just start blossoming. So thank you very much for your attention. This was our last session for the parenting training, and I'm really thankful for you to be that active. You were giving we've done with you many activities, and you are really active. Thank you very much. And I hope that you found this information useful. So as a Wiseful organization, we are doing this kind of programs, family trainings, and we have, this was like just short term. Actually, we have a long-term trainings. We have like Successful Parent Academy, which is like for 21 hours. And during that training, we are teaching about all of this stuff and giving more information. So if you're interested, we would like to meet you on our trainings. We have training for the parents, for those who are working educational institutions. We are teaching like academic coaching programs if you want to use coaching methods in teaching. And we are doing this kind of programs in different countries of Asia and Europe. So if you want to become a coach as well, we are teaching that programs as well. And so if you're just interested, we would be happy to see you. And I would say that actually those recommendations which I've given to you, we are using that in our family programs, and many parents are really thankful for that because they see the progress. So this recommendation was just not another theory. It's all of these recommendations were practiced in daily life by real parents. So I hope that you will find it useful as well. Thank you very much. Hope to meet you on other platforms as well. Take care, please. Make more time for your kids. Make them feel loved. And let's wait and see how they will blossom and become successful in the future. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rizkul, for helping me. Bye. Please take care.